And joining us on Hot Coffee, one of the senator judges in the Corona impeachment trial, Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Good day to you, Senator. Good morning.
Good morning, Karen, and good morning to all televiewers.
All right. Now, how has it been for you in the last 11 days? You've been sitting there listening to the evidence the prosecution has presented only on one article, Article 2. Are you satisfied?
Well, just to give you a brief background, the first, maybe the first few weeks, or first week, was quite exciting because Senator Miriam Santiago was present. And during the second, third week, medyo boring na konti. With regard to the evidence that were presented by the prosecution, hindi pa ako masyadong satisfied sa takbo ng kanilang pagpresent ng ebidensya.
Now, critics are waiting for a smoking gun. If we can compare it to the impeachment trial of your father, the Estrada impeachment trial, there were witnesses, whether false or not, but historically speaking, there were witnesses. They said it was explosive TV. This one really just has witnesses to speak of the veracity of documents.
Yes, to authenticate the documents. They haven't come up with a with a witness who can really pin down the respondent. Now, nothing of that sort.
Now, are the documents enough to speak? Do they speak for themselves?
Well, in Article 2, the charge is only a failure to disclose the assets and liabilities of the Chief Justice in his SAL-N. So, I don't think that's enough.
You don't think that's enough?
Yes.
Meaning to convict?
Well, I cannot divulge what my vote is, but medyo mahina pa ang kanilang mga ebidensya.
Now, today is major because there will be a caucus and you will be discussing, should you subpoena something major like bank records?
Yes, that is correct. In today's caucus this afternoon, this is quite crucial. Because we will have to decide amongst us senators if we will grant the request of the prosecution to subpoena the bank accounts of the Chief Justice.
Okay. Now, what are the pros and cons of this?
Well, first of all, you cannot, for me, I'm not a lawyer, you cannot subpoena the bank accounts which have yung foreign currency, no?
You cannot?
You cannot. We cannot.
Okay.
But dun sa peso account, I think we can.
Okay.
That's exempted.
Okay. Now, what would be the effect of subpoenaing bank accounts? I'm really curious.
Well, if you can do that to a Chief Justice or to a President or to a government official, you can do that to any ordinary person.
Okay.
To any businessman. Baka nga magkaroon ng bank run. As what happened during the time of the impeachment trial of my father. When they presented the documents from Equitable Bank. Remember, there was a time na nagkaroon yata ng bank run yung Equitable Bank.
Natakot yung mga tao, baka sila susunod.
Yes, correct.
And
then the yung dollar account, yung foreign currency account ni President Estrada before, it was, they voluntarily, the bank, yung Citibank, voluntarily submitted it to the impeachment court, which is violative of the law.
Okay.
That's why my father sued the Citibank for doing that, for their acts of voluntarily giving the document to the impeachment court.
So I just want to ask you, because Rolly Dalisay, a Twitter follower, asked, are you for bank secrecy or transparency?
So we will always have to uphold the rule of law.
Okay. All right. Now, the question right now that's pending on everybody's mind is, how far does Article 2 go? There was already a decision by Senate President Enrile that ill-gotten wealth is not part of Article 2.
Correct.
I want to know your stand.
Well, that is correct, because in Article 2.4, it talks about the ill-gotten wealth, and which is not a major charge. Dun sa mga articles of impeachment, yung Article 2 nga, failure to disclose properly the SAL-N, yung Article 3, yung sa misis niya, yung sa kay Mrs. Corona, yung sa John Hay, sa FASAP, tsaka yung iba, yung sa midnight appointee, yung iba sa I forgot Basta there are 8 articles of impeachment. And this Article 2, I think it is perceived to be the strongest case among all the articles of impeachment. Kaya inuna nila itong Article 2.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I think they're going to, after Article 2, they're going to proceed with Article
3.
3.
Yeah. Now, what is your interpretation of failure to disclose the SALN? Because when I hear different senator judges and also the prosecution, what they mean is that this isn't filing. Disclosure is truthful, accurate, honest, and timely.
Ang kanilang interpretation doon, ako, no, when I file my SALN, I make it a point na lahat ng mga properties ko, as far as I can remember, nakasulat doon.
Okay.
Even my properties, my real properties are included there. Kaya lang, ang kina-question ng prosecution, you have to truthfully disclose all your properties. Ina-allege ng prosecution, yung mga ibang condominium units ni CJ Corona.
Pati parking lot.
Yung parking lot. Yung Burgundy, late disclosure.
Okay.
Late disclosure. Pati yung mga parking lots, hindi in-include dun sa SALN ni Chief Justice Corona. But I would like to, sometimes I would like to ask myself, yung bang mga parking lots which have separate titles, does it have to be included in the SALN? Kasi sa tingin ko, incorporated na yan sa isang unit ng condominium. Like Burgundy, for example. Yung Burgundy na pinurchase ni Chief Justice Corona, there is an annotation there in the title na 1 unit plus the parking lot. So, iisang titulo lang yun.
Okay.
That's not a separate title. Unlike that of Bellagio and the other condominiums like Columns, hiwalay yung title ng parking lot.
All right. Now, there were SALNs where the Chief Justice did not put the acquisition cost.
Yes. I think all of the SALNs.
Okay.
The acquisition cost, blanco eh.
Okay.
Blanco. I don't know if that was done intentionally or I don't know, deliberately, or he might have forgotten.
Now, what does the prosecution need to prove when it comes to the SALN? Intent?
Yes, of course. They have to prove the intention of the Chief Justice, why he did not fill in the blanks with regard to the acquisition cost in his SALN.
Now, do you still want to hear something, I guess, more heavyweight?
Definitely.
You do?
Of course.
Before you convict or acquit, you do?
Of course.
Okay. Why is that? What is the effect for the country? The decision that the Senate is about to make, whether to convict or acquit, tell us the effect.
In my own honest opinion, it might be quite negative for our country, whether we convict or whether we acquit the Chief Justice. If we convict the Chief Justice, people are going to say, oh, Malacanang is in full control of all the branches of government, the legislative, the judiciary, and of course the executive.
And then?
And if we acquit him, then, syempre, Malacanang will still try to find ways in ousting the Chief Justice. Hindi natitigil yan. Never-ending story na yan.
Okay. All right. But does this help in any way you feel the judiciary? Is this a wake-up call to the judiciary?
Yes, of course. They have to be more careful in exercising their function as magistrates of the Supreme Court.
All right. Now, last Thursday, I believe, one of the highlights was the public knowing that there were not 45 properties. All the while in the papers, the prosecution had said there were 45 properties, which seemed so much. How, based on the records, the evidence that you're studying, how many properties is there?
Well, they allege, according to the prosecutors, that the LRA submitted a list of properties, alleged list of properties, alleged properties of the Chief Justice.
Yes.
And it was stated he has 45 properties belonging to the Chief Justice. And in fact, the members of the prosecution, prosecution panel, including their spokespersons, went to town in media. They were exposing the properties of Chief Justice Corona. When we summed it up, there were titles which have already been cancelled.
Okay.
Okay? Yung mga iba doon, binenta na. Yung 3, 4 yata parking lot.
Okay.
Yung iba, nasa anak.
Okay.
Pero yung kay Chief Justice Corona, siguro mga 5 hanggang 8, including yung parking lot.
Okay.
Yun
na yun.
Yun na yun.
5 to 8.
Yeah, mga 5 to 8 siguro.
Oo.
Pero yung sa mga anak,
So it's not 21 to 24.
I don't think it's 21 to 24.
Because Senator Ralph Recto said the same thing in an interview. It was like 5 to 8.
Yes. Alam mo, sinort out namin yung kagabi. Mukhang talagang 5 to 8 lang. That is including the parking lot of the condominiums, like Bellagio.
+1.
Column, yeah, +1.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So it will be columns +1, 4.
Columns, Bellagio, and I forgot other...
Property.
Other property.
Oo.
Yun sa Saviorville, yung bahay ni CJ Corona. I think it's...
listed there.
It's listed there.
Oo.
Kaya lang siguro yung timeliness or timing nung pag-declare ni Chief Justice Corona.
It's late.
It's quite late.
Oo.
Well, ang explanation naman yata nila doon, hindi pa fully paid yung condominium, kaya hindi na ilagay sa salin. That is what he explained.
How will you be judging? Is it guilt beyond reasonable doubt, clear conscience? Kasi 4 yun, di ba? Preponderance
of evidence,
or
substance.
yeah. Where are you going?
Wala sa amin yun eh. You know,
or political affiliation? No,
no. Ako, I will base my decision on the pieces of evidence presented.
Okay.
Yung standard of proof, kung substantial evidence, kung overwhelming preponderance of evidence, kung substantial evidence, wala yun eh. At the end of the day, mga senador, may sariling isip yan eh. They will not base their decisions based on the standard of proof.
Now, public opinion matters to all senator judges, does it?
Yes. Definitely.
Okay. Because it's an impeachment court. That's the thing. It's not a criminal proceeding per se. Yeah.
The problem is the prosecution always goes to the media presenting their evidence, not in the impeachment court. Kaya mas mabilis pang ang trial sa labas kaysa sa impeachment court. Tama yung sinabi ni Senator Honasan. The court outside is faster than the court rather than in the impeachment court.
Yeah. And then you have Senator Enrile actually cautioning and saying to be fair to the respondent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you're satisfied with how the impeachment court is handled? I mean, look
yes,
back.
Definitely.
Talk about that compared to how they treated your father's trial.
Malayo.
I'll go.
Malayo. Today, during the impeachment trial of Chief Justice Corona, the presiding officer, Senate President Enrile, is very, very fair. I think majority of our people agree with me. No? Unlike before, kahit hindi kasama sa charge sheet, lagi nila tinatanggap yung mga ebidensya.
That's the second envelope.
Kasama yung second envelope.
Ang tawag doon, walk-in evidence daw.
Yes, that's not allowed. That's not permitted here in under the trial of Chief Justice Corona.
Okay.
Kaya malayong malayo. Medyo may pagka-bias pa yung nakaraan, si Chief Justice Davide. He was presiding.
Now, what about in terms of behavior?
Before the senator judges are debating with each other. No, you cannot see senators debating with each other.
You can't, no?
We can, but...
no one does.
No one does it.
Yeah.
Kasi it won't look good. No? All the senator judges debating with each other. It won't look good. Unlike before, they allowed senator judges to be debating with one another.
Wala bang parameters ang 2 minutes ninyo?
Meron naman. In 2 minutes namin, tinatime yun when we start talking, when we start questioning.
That's one. But pero walang boundaries. Meaning wala. In terms of range of topic.
Wala. You can ask anything.
Anything.
Under the sun.
It may be helpful to the prosecution or the defense. Correct. It can happen.
Correct. Nobody can stop a senator judge from asking questions. That is our rule. Even the prosecution, even the defense panel cannot question the questions of the senator judges.
Yeah.
Like what Justice Cuevas did to Senator Drilon. He questioned Senator Drilon. I forgot what he objected to the question of Senator Drilon. So I was really laughing and laughing. Oh, he has no right to question the questions of the senators.
No, because it turns out some of the senator judges are better prosecutors, lawyers, or defense counsels. That's the problem.
Well, I cannot blame that perception, because the lawyers in the Senate, the senator lawyers are in the Senate, are really brilliant lawyers as compared to those of that in the prosecution.
Do you think the prosecution should already, honestly, change faces? Last week, that was already the suggestion.
They have already hired several
they're 59.
private prosecutors.
They're 50 plus.
And still, sad to say, and still they haven't done their assignment yet. You know what I thought about when they first impeached the Chief Justice way back in December. They went to town. I mean, they started vacationing during the Christmas break, whereas the defense team maybe studied their case. And when the impeachment trial on January 16 was about to commence, they thought the Chief Justice would resign. So maybe they didn't study, they didn't do their homework, they didn't research. So akala nila magre-resign. So he didn't resign. So they had to study right there. Maybe nag-cram sila.
All right. The prosecution team is 50 plus lawyers. The defense is 12. Now, is it a secret just at the Justice Cuevas, frankly, or you feel it's not?
Pardon?
The secret to the defense, they say, is really former Justice Secretary Cuevas.
Yes, I think so. He's been in trial practice for over 60 years. My goodness. He's been teaching that particular subject, the rules of court, for more than a decade.
Yeah. Now, Kit Tataded said, unlike in Estrada's impeachment trial, pantay ang prosecution at defense. Joker Arroyo was a prosecutor.
Yes.
Then Estelito Mendoza was the main defense counsel.
Parehong magagaling. Actually, magaling yun si Attorney Mendoza, magaling din to si then Congressman Joker Arroyo during the impeachment trial. Pero ngayon, with Justice Cuevas and the other members of the prosecution panel, mismatch eh.
You feel? Okay.
Mukhang ilalaban mo si Pacquiao laban sa akin. Halimbawa, hindi mo ako boxing ngayon.
How do you feel when Congressman Niel Tupas was asked who leaked it to the media, the 45 properties?
Yeah, I asked him that question because he was denying that it came from them.
Yes.
Whereas when we had a break during the impeachment trial last Thursday, I saw on ANC that Mr. Tupas was there. The members of the spokespersons, the prosecution panel, were really presenting that piece of paper, yung galing sa LRA, to the media. So, sino naglabas? Alangan naman yung defense, alangan naman idiin nila yung kanyang kliyente. Alangan naman yung impeachment court. We don't have any evidence on hand.
Yeah.
So, sigurado sila naglabas nung papel na yun.
Now, why was that important in your line of questioning? Why did you have to ask who leaked the 45 properties?
Because they are trying to make it appear before the public that Corona owns a lot of properties. Well, in fact, he only owns, according to Senator Escudero, he only owns 21. According to what I've gathered, he only owns 5 to 8.
Yeah.
So, don't make it appear to the public, or don't condition the minds of the public that the respondent has acquired 45 or more properties.
Yeah.
Kailangan i-present talaga nila sa impeachment court lahat ng kanilang may ebidensya.
Because actually, you're right, it can make the court look bad.
Yes.
The public will think 45, let's say hypothetically, inacquit nila yung pala 5. I mean, the discrepancy of facts.
They are putting the impeachment court in a spot. Pati kami napapaniwala, dami palang properties ni Chief Justice Corona. Pero pag binasa mo, Pag sinort out mo, kukunti lang pala. Siguro mga 5 to 8 nga, as far as I'm concerned. Ay iba, ang interpretation nila, mga 20, kasama yung sa mga anak, sa mga parking lots. Hindi talaga 45. As admitted also by Congressman Tupas.
All right. We'll take a quick break, then we'll talk about other things when we return, including former President Arroyo's now staying at the Veterans Memorial Hospital. Tweet your questions now for Senator Judge Jinggoy Estrada. Hot Copy will be right back.